Welcome to Wizardry. I had this guy primed and had a standard paint scheme worked out for him. When the idea hit me, I could make it more grotesque. I'd had fun converting a Reaper purple worm into the grave robber boar, so I thought, why not transform this guy as well? So it was off to the LA's Totally Awesome soaker tub for this guy. After being stripped and cleaned, I broke out the milliput and the epoxy sculpt to fill in any gaps like this one around his left shoulder, and to build the growths and tumors that would be growing on this dude. I chose milliput to gap fill, and used epoxy sculpt for the body modifications. My son Avery and his fiancée Kalia had purchased this WizKids Raging Troll for me for Christmas. Actually, the last couple of videos and YouTube shorts that I've done, the Bone Devil and the Roper, were Christmas gifts from them as well. I tried to keep the additional warts, or boils, whatever you'd like to call them, random and textured and shaped somewhat differently than the previous one, as well as varying them in size. The sculpt, I guess, doesn't necessarily need any help, but if you're a big fan of The Thing and stuff like that, like I am, adding a little grotesqueness never hurts when it comes to a monster. I was mindful of the sculpt when I was adding to it, not to cover up any of the details that were already there. I didn't want to obscure things that were on there, and I definitely didn't want to cover up any of the musculature or detract from the model in any way. If I added something to the model, and then I thought that it may be too large or look out of place, I'd either remove it or cut down to size. The addition of the little silver tin with the damp sponge in it was actually a big help. Keeping your tools damp so they don't stick to the medium is key, especially when blending. Now he was ready for a cure and a prime job. The base color I mixed up for this troll was similar to the coagulated blood recipe that I'd used on the Bone Devil, but instead of a blood look, I wanted something along the line of a bruised flesh look for the base on this troll. One of the first creatures I'd become familiar with when learning to play Tunnels and Trolls and Dungeons and Dragons when I was young was the troll. The depiction of these beasts varies, but for the fact that they are evil, gross, and vile. And that is exactly what inspired me to do this project. With the base coat dry, it was time to get to work on his flesh. I started with Nightmare Landscape's dark skin tone, with some gray added, to deaden the look of the skin. During this and the next two steps, I varied my coverage, hoping to end up with a patchy, uneven looking skin when I was finished. The next step was Nightmare Landscape's medium skin tone, with gray added to it as well. I'd used these skin tones on the WizKids Roper that I had shot as a YouTube short, and I'd really liked the coverage and how well they layered together. But I was trying to depict more of a rock substance, obviously, on a Roper, so using them now as they were intended was very satisfying and very fun. This guy had a bunch of warts and bumps and boils on him already, and at this point I was wondering to myself what idiot thought adding a bunch more was a good idea. But, just like that, I was on to my third highlight, Nightmare Landscape's light skin tone with a touch of Nightmare Landscape's gray. And now with hitting just the highest points, the amount of coverage was considerably less than the previous 2 coats, and all the abnormalities didn't seem as daunting of a task as they had before. When painting his loincloth, I considered a troll being a troll, he likely never does laundry. So, the more soiled, oily, and greasy I can make it look, the better. I accomplished this by layering different shades of brown with stippling and patchy strokes for texture, and a couple of washes. After fixing his clothing issues and giving him black greasy hair, it was time to give him a glaze and bring out his trolliness with some green skin. I went a heavier glaze in the shadowed areas, such as the back of his legs, his armpits, the undersides of his muscles, or his tumors. With his skin glazed, I set to work on all of his little fleshy protrusions and unsightly skin issues. I used Nightmare Yellow as a base color, and then randomly chose yellow, red, and orange, and blended them right on the model. I topped them off with dots of Nightmare Red to give them a raw, festering appearance. I slapped a palette mix on his base until I decided if he's going on a base or in a diorama. And here he is, the Raging Troll. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to Nightmare Landscapes. I'll have a new diorama video out real soon, and I hope you'll join me. I love making these and the diorama videos, and I have some cool ideas ahead in collaboration with Nightmare Landscapes, but I need your help and support. Please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Wes, and this is Wizardry.